love printing. I love printing. I love it. I f***ing love printing. Today I am honored, and I use that word lightly, to have with me M.J. Anderson of RealityBLU. Welcome.
Thanks, Warren. How you doing? Happy to be here.
You better be. I only want people that are happy. So just for total transparency, I've known MJ since 2012. You've heard me talk about the IPN. We were members together in the IPN. At the time, MJ was the marketing branch of the IPN, and that was that. So that's where we met. Today, MJ is still in marketing, but it's what I like to call new marketing, modern day marketing. Just get with it, people. MJ, I don't want to ruin it. Give us a quick 1 minute, what it is, what do you do, and then we'll get into it.
Sure. Thanks, Warren. So when we met when we first met, I owned an agency, a digital advertising agency called Trek. And we were a technology-based marketing firm. So we always used technology in everything that we did. And in 2010, I started to play with this technology called augmented reality, and thought it was, really cool. I've been fortunate in my career to be able to see new things come about, and then leverage those new things, in business. So for me, augmented reality was this next technology wave that I really wanted to be a part of. So I sold my shares in Trek to my business partner in 2014 and started RealityBLU, which is a software as a service company for the creation, deployment, and delivery of augmented reality content. So
cool. So let me ask you, right? I hear a lot of things, but I hear augmented reality, right? And I go, what is that? What, like, to the layman, like,
yeah.
By the way, when you're talking to me, there's no technical shit. I don't get that stuff.
Sure.
Right? So just later on.
Dumb it down.
Dumb it down. Yes.
I'll talk slowly. No.
Please do.
So augmented reality has actually been around for a very long time. If you've ever watched a football game on TV, since like 1971, whenever you've seen that yellow stripe that goes across the field that indicates a first down yard marker, right? That's a form of augmented reality. So AR, the definition of augmented reality is basically a way to impose a digital scene on top of a real world view. So today, the way that we experience AR is through our mobile phones, right? So you can use the camera on your phone to see through the screen of your phone. You can see the world in front of you. And then AR is the delivery of a digital overlay that helps you enhance a real world view of the world, essentially, in its basic terms. That's what it is.
Cool. So because I don't know everyone that watches or listens to my show, which I hope that there's a lot of people listening, especially to this case. I just the other day had an experience, my latest experience with augmented reality. We had picked up a bottle of wine. Actually, it was a couple bottles of wine, and unfortunately, I forget the name of it because I drank all the wine.
19 crimes.
19 crimes. So yeah, I would have remembered it, but I drank the 2 bottles. But what I remember about it was we had fun with it because Snoop Dogg was on the front, and it was all with the augmented reality. So we were sitting there with our phones and we were watching and listening, and he was talking to me. And I don't remember, last time I had Snoop Dogg in the kitchen.
Right.
So it was pretty cool.
Yeah, very cool. Right? So packaging is a great application for AR. One of the things I want to kind of convey is if you can think about your knowledge of the internet today, right? Mm-hmm. Compared to what your knowledge of the internet was in 1994, 1995.
You mean on my 248, whatever it was with 3 megs, my Toshiba.
So back in the early days of the World Wide Web, it was a relatively simple, straightforward thing, but you've seen what it's actually, emerged into. We couldn't live without it today in professionally. So AR is very similar to that technology category in that it's a massive landscape. There are many, 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 many different forms, flavors, uses, and applications for augmented reality. And I think one of the things that I really want to kind of convey to this audience is to try to put yourself back in time to when you first experienced the web and the reaction that you had in business back then about, oh my gosh, how am I going to grapple with this? What am I going to do? Is this going to put me out of business? Am I going to be able to leverage this? And that's why I started the company. That's why we started the business, was because we wanted to make tools that were super easy for the layperson to use immediately to begin to leverage this.
I like to use the term idiot proof.
Yeah. Well, it's your show, so.
Yeah, and that's just, and it's not to insult anyone, but it's really just to get the point across to everybody that like things are being done to make it simple. And I'll just touch on actually something I think everyone can relate to. I just got a new TV in the house, right? The old days of plug and play your TV are no more. I had to have a guy come because it's hooked up to the Sonos, to the bar, to this, to that. Nothing, it's not a straight line anymore.
Right.
So I want everyone to realize that the augmented reality is not as hard to hook up as your TV.
Yeah, so we designed our product for the marketer and the graphic designer. So we call it a no-code environment. So it's all web-based. If you know how to use the tools that you wake up every day and go to work and use, then you can create and deploy AR content.
Cool. So question, how does AR apply to the print communications company?
Okay, great question. So as you might imagine, we have a lot of customers that are in the print space, that are in some way, shape, or form involved with putting ink or toner on paper and then putting that into the world, right? So for the printer, it's a unique opportunity once again, because in a lot of cases, the printer for the marketing communications community is a source for technologies that they don't necessarily understand, or do they want to understand. So I think it's another huge opportunity for printers to think about this as a practice area, the same way that they would think about, large format or, embellishment or anything else that they're going to do from the standpoint of equipment, right? Printers need to change their mind about the way they look at and the way they think about software. Right. So I always tell printers this. It's like, think of my software like it's a device, like it's an appliance. Okay. You're going to pay me for a license to a tool. Every time you use this tool, it's going to generate revenue for you and for your business. And I think that's really a big thing. The other thing that it does, which is really powerful, is it aligns perfectly with what you're already doing. You're already creating something that has value, okay? AR will add additional value to that thing that you're producing physically. It'll add virtual value, which you will be able to charge for, right? And your work isn't done when the thing leaves your factory, right?
Doesn't end.
That content experience, that AR scene lives well past the delivery date of that printed item. So that's another huge opportunity for a practice area. And our customers that are using the software that are printers are doing that. They are looking at this as a new practice in the business, hiring people, training sales force, doing everything that they would do,
Right. So let me ask you another question. With the printers that you've used, with the printers that are using your product right now, how hard has it been for them? Or has it not been that hard? And what are they doing with it at first when they get it?
Our printer customers are as diverse as, as the printing industry at large. So our customers, there are some customers that print, that only use our software to get the USPS postal discount for emerging technologies, right? So I've got clients that just use it to get that 2% discount in postage, which is huge, and why more people in the States that are in direct mail are not taking advantage of this is beyond me.
Sorry, so just a quick break. So anybody listening, you're okay if they reach out to you to talk about your technology?
We have a product. We have a direct mail product that's stupid simple to engage in.
Because it always amazed me with companies that don't take advantage of things that are available to them, that don't cost but have a return, and they get to learn new things at the same time.
Yeah, here's a stat for you, Warren. For every $1 that you spend with me, if your volumes are correct, you're going to get $14 back in discount from the post office. Okay, so it's insane. It's free money laying on the ground.
So now I have another thought. Sorry, because you didn't answer all the questions. With that available, no, because my brain now, I'm jumping up and down as a print owner. Right. Why wouldn't I call you, right, to learn about it? But why wouldn't my first mailing or project be for my company, so we could show it in the best way? Because I first of all, I'm a hands-on person. I'm a visual person, right? And I always believed in selling, and sending my team out with the samples of what's done just made the sale 52% or 80% easier.
Right.
So, and not that I asked the question, I just made a statement or said something.
But that's good. So typically the pushback that we get from people in the print space is in a lot of cases, we're talking to transactional printers, and they have a hard time justifying the expense to change an envelope or to put something on a statement or something like that. That's like an act of God to do that, right? So they're not thinking in advance. And I've got one customer that we've been talking to them for 3 years about this, and we just finally signed a contract because it took that long for their legal team to understand what AR was, right? So
it's a whole other area now.
It's a whole other area. Going back to your questions, some other things that people are using the software for is, I've got one client, they're in Lubbock, Texas, and it's a great, you love these guys. I'll give them a shout out. The name of the company is called Slate Group, and they are, I would say, a mid-size, printing operation, right? They do a lot of, large format. They just bought a brand new, 4-color, large, 4-color full on
something big.
Yeah, something big. It was a Kimura, I believe. Anyway, they looked at their customer base and said, there's a huge opportunity, because they were starting to get questions from their customers about this, right? Or they were starting to attend virtual meetings, and they started to see and feel for themselves that, hey, there's, we don't want to be we want to be the one that brings this to our clients. We don't want somebody else to bring this to our clients. So they've done an extremely great job in very quickly ramping up without any fear and going into the marketplace and just selling AR campaign work right alongside their traditional print campaign.
What does it cost for a print company to come to you? And they will, I'll make up the job. So a print company wants to come to you. They want to do a mailing to 500 people to start, right? And they want to have something on it, something AR that maybe shows what they do, or somebody just talking about what they do.
Yeah, so there's 2 ways you can engage us. Okay, number one, you can just give us the project. We'll do everything for you. Okay, and along in that process, we'll teach you how to do it, so the next time you do it, you can do it yourself.
How much?
Okay,
I'm a printer. How much?
Average cost is going to be under $10,000, but that $10,000 under $10,000 is going to be for a year's worth of use of the tool, right? So
and what kind of return am I going to get for my $10,000?
Well, okay, well, it's just like buying a printing press. The more you use it, the more you can charge for it, the more you can sell. So I
can't argue with that one.
Yeah, right. So
let me ask you another question.
Average startup cost for us is just under 10 grand. And that's And typically when a printer comes to us, they have a project, right? They're not.
Okay, well, what I'm thinking now is, right, and the 10 grand, by the way, doesn't scare me for a client.
Yeah, sure.
When I understand exactly what it is that is being done.
When they buy it, they already know that within 1 or 2 projects, the expense is paid for, right?
Right.
And printers do that with printing, with devices, with equipment. They can do that all day. But when you talk to them about software, for some reason, there's a puckering that takes place, and you could bounce a penny off of it. You know what I mean? Because they don't understand. They think that they're gonna not be able to see the return on that small investment.
We're used to holding something, paper, a press, an ink thing to put the ink in, anything.
Yeah, something that you could sell if it doesn't work out.
Or you can liquidate. You can liquidate.
Exactly. So our software it's software, and you can go month to month if you want, or you can sign.
Okay, I get it, but you know what? You're still scaring me.
Okay.
So really, so what I'm thinking is this is, and again, just from the printer perspective,
sure,
right? What's the best thing that you could do to help me if I wanted to do an AR project to get out to reach my customers, to let them know that I exist.
Yeah.
I'm doing it so they know I exist. At the same time, I'm letting them know that I have another tool in the toolbox that I have to offer. But
okay,
10 grand to do that, I'm afraid.
Okay, so you just said something there that's a really good point.
Please tell me. I like to hear good points.
AR, augmented reality, opens doors. Right? The magical things that you can create with our software, when people see them for the first time, their jaw hits the table and they say, I don't know what that is, but I want it. The printers that we have as customers either had a client ask them about this, right? Or saw something that somebody in their space that was a competitor of theirs was doing and said, I need to do this because I need to stay current. It's those two things. So when my big frustration is I've made something, Warren, that is light years ahead of where it should be in the marketplace. It is so easy to do this, to use our tool to create some really cool things, right? And in a lot of cases, the printer, like you said, doesn't have the time, and they don't necessarily take the time all the time to create their own thing
or the thought.
Yeah, the thought to do so. So
you have customers out of the US, right? Like across the pond, other countries. How does their thinking compare to the North American thinking?
They're typically a lot more in tune with what the marketer wants or is doing, right? So I don't always get the sense when I talk to somebody from outside the country that technology is a hurdle for them, right? It just
okay. So you're being politically correct because you don't want to insult anyone. Well, no, I'm gonna give it to you in English.
Yeah.
In North America, we're good people. We try hard, but we're a little lame. We're a little sitting back when everything's moving at warp speed. And the people that I speak to overseas or wherever, they embrace this shit and move with it.
Right. Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
I don't know how to better. We have friends in Australia that those guys are on their own trying to do stuff and making it happen. I mean, I wouldn't even call them a print company. I call them a communications company.
Yeah.
Right?
I think that's that's it. I think the customers that we have here that are in the print space that are using it, they are not your typical mindset,
right?
Your guy or gal, right?
You can't be that typical mindset today.
I've got one customer. He always says, I need to figure this out sooner. I need to fail fast, right? So that the next time I do it, it's right, because it's not going away. And I want to speak to that. So you said that it's the next trend. I'm here to tell you, Warren, that if you look at the billions of dollars that Apple, Google, Facebook, Samsung, Microsoft, on, have plowed into this technology. It is not going to go away. Okay. So if you pay attention to the press, and at least just specifically Apple and what Facebook are saying, okay, their intention in the next 2 to 3 years is to completely eliminate this device as you know it. Okay. So this device is cool, but it's what we would call a transitional technology, right? It's a good transition from this, which you all know how to use, and if I gave you this, you know how to interface with it, to this. Okay. The problem with this is that small screen is small, and when you use it, you're like this. Your head is down, right? And you're engaged with just that. The future, the very, very near future will be, you won't carry this in your pocket. You'll wear it on your face.
You mean we won't be doing this? Hello, Max.
No.
Control. Can I speak to Control?
You'll be wearing a pair of glasses, and those glasses, when you put them on, will automatically give you an augmented view of.
So it's going to be like, so basically, it's like the movies of the past. Like RoboCop.
Well,
I'm laughing because Star Trek, we had the flip phones, and
it's like that. And I'm here. This might even be more scarier for the audience. But if you think about it, if we can do that, okay. And there's still a couple little technical problems that are being worked out by the manufacturers. Apple's one of them. One of them is battery power, right? The power a unit that does that. But it's coming. It will go from a headset, something.
I think Elon Musk is working on the batteries for that.
Well, yeah, and others. But the other cool thing is, we'll very quickly, after we have glasses, we will go to contact lenses and then to neural implants. One of the things that I think is important to note, if that is where the hardware end of the business is going, we know that to be true, because Apple is not going to walk away from their $5 billion investment in technology, nor will Google. It's $3 or $4 billion investment. So that hardware situation will demand content that works in those environments. So that's why I'm like, when I saw AR way back when, I thought, okay, this is going to change everything. So we're going to be in a situation where marketers, communicators will have to understand the three-dimensional medium and the organic nature and presentation of information. Okay, and that's really, AR is the first step in that progression.
Okay, so this is what I'm hearing. If you're a printer, get your shit together and get on it now, because before you know it, you're going to be out of touch with reality, like RealityBLU, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
But no, you know what? It's pretty cool. I mean, this should just make people want to go online and just look to the future, see what's coming, to give them some ideas.
I've never been more professionally excited about something
cool
before. I think, and I was pretty excited when the web first came out. I started my last business at the dawn of the internet. This one's going to have an even bigger effect on us as human beings, I think. So,
but whatever it takes, folks, in the print world, print communication world, you have an opportunity in front of you right now to make a difference for your company, to make a difference for your client. And then I'll just add one little thing, because it's another conversation. You want to attract young people? This is the way. We're talking their talk. We're not the printing industry anymore. We're a tech industry. We're playing with software. All of our equipment is push buttons, screens on screens, cameras in the things happening. People aren't getting dirty the same way they used to anymore. So my message is, let's start thinking of print as another tech industry. MJ, always, thank you. Thank you for teaching me something new today.
My pleasure. Look forward to seeing you in person sometime.
Oh my God. Well, I want to go back to drinking and closing the bars again. Those were always good days, last on tap. Warren Werbitt, what they think. I love print, and please come back and watch some more. MJ, thank you.
See you, Warren.